Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Speed Gaming 4. Good evening, Final Fantasy fans and everybody here. We are here for our first round of 16 match with xIceblue and Sforzand0 going at it with their Force White Mage and friends. I am Demerin2. Following me here is, of course, Wote. How's it going tonight?
That's going pretty well. I am glad to finally get back in the booth with you. It's been a little bit.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on, but it's good to be back, my friend.
Sorry, I just saw the runners' names. So, as you is favoring a three-man strategy, it looks like, whereas Sforzand0 is going with a four-player party. Or at least a four-player party that can very easily convert to a three-player party when the Thief has outlived his usefulness.
Yeah, Thief is always nice for getting through the early game. If there's the right black magic out there in the first 4 levels, Thief can be really dangerous after Promote, but Promote's not really a guaranteed thing here as we get started.
Yeah, welcome to the round of 16, where everything is different, even though we changed like 3 flags.
Yeah, oh wow, that is the A-Fire, A-Ice, A-Lit White Magic Level 1 special.
But Fire 2 and Fast for black magic at least makes life less painful?
Oh, that white magic is terrible. xIceblue might have to switch to banning the white mage at this point.
I never thought I'd hear those words come out of your mouth.
I feel really dirty right now. But getting to the flag changes, of course, is that we are now in the round of 16, which means that we have full NPC shuffle rolling right now. What that means for us is that our players have to find... There are 20 items out in the world. Only 8 are technically required to finish the game. But there's only 16 spots that have guaranteed items now. This, of course, means that there are four key items out there in boxes someplace in the world, guaranteed, right now.
And there's no telling what those will be. I believe the race that finished up on Speedy Gaming 2 a little while ago had a canoe in a box in Sky Castle.
We'll be talking about that seed for a very long time, I'm sure.
That seed was terrible. But yeah, so Ice in the meantime, I don't know if you caught that, but actually did not have enough money to save at the end.
Looks like did get off of Fire 2, though, and is going to go and buy another copy of Fire 2 for his Black Mage. And starting to pick up fast as well, just in case, while Sforzand0 is attempting to go and force his way into Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, at least they have access to chainmail for the fighter and red mage they both brought.
Yeah, it's a good starting armor. It gives you a little bit of extra absorb, and it's really helpful. Oh, and Faro says xIce did his first fight without Fire 2. Well, that's pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, we have an Aegis shield off the bat here in Temple of Fiends. That's gonna be handy if they track down the tail.
Yeah, that's gonna be another nice piece, but can only be used after promotion, but gives you protection against Earth Elemental, I believe, correct?
I believe it's poison / petrification. Yeah,
there's
Ribbon and A-Rub are your only options if you want to defend against Earth.
Got it. There's a lot of elements in this game, so... Sforzand0 stepping up to try and cook Garland here with some Fire 2 Blast, though, and Garland goes down at 248.
So, let's find out what the king and the princess have in store. Well, at least that TNT is going to be easy to turn in. So, like Demery mentioned, we've now shuffled up all of the NPCs, including all the fetch quest NPCs. So if you watch this during the Swiss stages, you're aware that, all the fetch quests don't really do anything different there. But in the round of 16, we've changed that. So that TNT can and will lead to something, and not just blowing up in the canal. We might even see the canal this race.
Yeah, that TNT could be anything. Like, we could see that TNT turn into, an Adamant, or an Oxyal, or Ruby. It could also turn into a canal.
Slow your roll there, Satan. Slow your roll.
I mean, you never know, right? I didn't say ship, okay?
You said Ruby. That's almost as bad.
Yeah, at least that's a blank most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with the Titan's Trove turned on, that the Ruby at least has some value now. Titan's Trove being a flag, for the unaware, that changes the layout of the Titan's tunnel so that the Titan is blocking access to the 4 chests until you hand him a Ruby. So the Ruby actually has at least 4 chests worth of value now.
Yep. There's a lot of routing differences here that could possibly come up. And these fetch quests could be anything, and you could have to fly up and down across the world twice, like our runners did in the earlier race today, to finish the last fetch quest, because it was 5 items long.
Silver Dagger, that's going to be handy for Sforzand0's Thief, at least.
Yeah, thieves can't use a lot of items pre-promotion, so it definitely doesn't hurt the cause any. xIceblue is trying to get away from these creeps with Paratouch and is able to do so.
Oh hey, look! The item we can drop off at the next place we're going. If Astos hands us the herb, I'm going to start questioning this seed.
I don't think Sforzand0 goes and tries to take on Astos here with no save items, though. I'm pretty sure that he's gonna just march on by for now.
I mean, statistically speaking, Astos can't be as bad as he is in vanilla. I mean, you're right when Sforzand0 runs past it, but it still amuses me.
Yeah, it doesn't have any damage output, really, for it at this point. Oh, Grey Wolves have Scorch. That's not so bad. So I brought a notepad today, because who knows what's going to happen at this point.
I just brought my brain, but fortunately I actually have a reasonably good memory for stuff like this, so we'll see who wins. A meat computer or a piece of paper?
It's the best meme. Someone's got to make that meme at this point, please.
And Ice is going to go ahead and take on Astos, who has the floater!
Wow. Oh, man. That's a really good start if he can get off a couple of casts of Fire, too, and it's enough damage. It's doing about 50. Man, if he can get this kill, though, this is gonna be a tide turner real quick.
Yeah, and this is why I was thinking that the Northwest Castle play wouldn't be too bad. You know, in vanilla, Astos has that whole, I'm gonna cast Rub, right off the bat. But
yeah.
He's not gonna have that almost always in this. So, you know, you still have a chance of him getting something like Thunder, or, you know, the one nuke cast or something, but odds are good, you're not gonna need to worry about what Astos has.
I'm pretty sure Sforzand0 will heal up and figure out what he's got for magic spells and double back at this point, but, you know, that's a bit of an edge for xIceblue to get us started here.
Yeah, did I see Temper at level 3 Black Magic? I know I caught Brack.
And we saw Fast at 1, so, hey, Cyclone, roll the Jet Seed, everybody.
And Life 2 at level 4 White Magic.
So Cyclone's either rolled a Jet Seed or we're going to check every single chest in the game at this point.
There is no middle ground.
Yeah, there's the good stuff is out there. ETAP is confirming that we've got level 3 Temper, level 4 Life 2 in the Red Wizard slot, Saber at level 4 Black Magic, Fire 3 at level 3 Black Magic as well for a bigger sweeping spell as well. So, yeah, we're in a place right now.
Yeah, and I anticipate neither of these runners is going to waste any time getting over to the eastern side of this continent, although we know that Ice is heading southeast. Yep.
Ice is definitely going to take that early advantage, that early floater stone, and take it to open up this world in a hurry. Well, Sforzand0, of course, now has the choices between, you know, Ice and, you know, running up to Provoca or Volcano, so, you know, options are still there.
I imagine he's still going to go ahead and check Provoca before diving into Ice. I don't believe we've seen any of the escape spells yet.
We have not, so...
Yeah, so it's one of those things, he's probably going to go ahead, get that spot checked, see if he can dig out one of those exit or warp spells, make it so that Ice Cave isn't a pain in the butt, because the only thing worse than ice is doing ice when you could have gotten out of it quicker.
Yep. I saw Nuke at level 6 over there. I didn't catch the rest of it, but that was definitely the big bomb at the top, so...
Well, I think we also have Wall at level 6 white, so... Hey, there's a tail!
Well, promotion is definitely on the table with the easy tail, which will make both these runners with their Aegis Shield and Red Mages very happy.
And in spite of his naming scheme, Ice has yet to manage to get his Black Mage killed.
I still would have killed the White Mage by now. God, it hurts. It hurts so much.
I mean, those Fire 2 spells are doing work, and with the improved turn order shuffle going on, we're also probably looking at a situation where it's harder for the enemy to get those clean shots to finish off your Dan member.
Yep. Improved turn order is another flag that was added in for this, a little bit of dev team magic here to help randomize the turn order more. So it really stops the enemy parties from getting those 6 and 7 and 8 actions before you can do that, and it's and it's super helpful for being able to not get murdered a lot of the time, which is good.
Excuse me. Demery, I just realized something else.
Yeah.
We didn't get the herb out of Astos, but we did get the item that you could turn in immediately, next, going around the continent toward Provoca.
Yep, Bruise, Wall, Harm 3, and A-Rub were at 6, so A-Rub being a useful spell to keep you from dying to death spells. But yeah, this has been a very fairly linear seed. I mean, xIceblue has got an easy route to Provoca and then right up to the Cardia Isles right afterwards at this point, so gonna have that nice tight routing right now, and it's gonna continue extending this lead as, early Floater Stone can do in these runs.
I'm gonna laugh if BK just has the bridge, and it's just this big circle.
I saw that in a practice. There's Exit at 2 with Fog 2 as well, so a defensive spell, Heal 3, a high priority early white magic spell, heals for 100, roughly just under 100 per party member. So the business is here at level 2 for the white mage. Black mage, meh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that is a very meh black magic to offset the very meh white magic at level 1.
Yeah, nothing really exciting in a couple of these magic shops, so there's a good chance that some of the good spells are going to be tied up at level 5 or 7.
And Ice remembering that Titan's a little more in the way this time around.
And it looks like xIceblue has skipped the pirates for now and is going to try and check for the caravan item.
We did see him get the Oxyel off of Sarda, so Sea Shrine is definitely an option for him, and the pirates have the crystal! Oh, no, really, if Matoya has the bridge, I might die of laughter here and now.
Ah, man, oh man. Yeah, so xIceblue, of course, made the move up to the Cardia Isles. Gonna get his super, super early promotion. Well, so Sforzand0's got a little bit more hiking in his futures. He's going to go up and check out Matoya, getting a little bit further from the Floater Stone with every step he takes.
Well, technically, at this point, if the bridge is at Matoya, he's getting closer again.
Yeah, true. Right, E-Tap, of course, being silly in the chat. Level 2 black magic is lit, but not like that. Yeah, it's the bad.
Yeah. One nice thing about those level 2 white magic spells is that that's all Fire Knight accessible to, now that I'm thinking about it. So that's going to be really nice for these players.
Yeah, they're going to be slamming up a lot of Fog 2 stacks in the late game here, which will be really handy. The realization, though, is that Sforzand0, once he does find the airship and can promote, his ninja is going to have access to Fast and Temper and Saber.
That is an excellent point, and Matoya finally breaks the chain, although Ice finds the herb in the Cardia Islands.
And that is our first item loose in the world, so we are down to 3 items that we still care about that are out there in chests someplace. Alright,
So, go ahead.
Yeah,
No, you go ahead.
so Ron's current plays at this point in time are going to be do ice for the item, do volcano for the gear, or run all the way back through Elfland to, pick up the thing that he does not know is the floater stone yet.
Yeah, I imagine that he's just going to swing the pendulum back the other way, clean out those 2 dungeons on his way back toward Astos, and then take it from there. Hopefully he checks Astos before he goes to Marsh Cave.
I'm certain Sforzand0 is a great runner. There's a reason he got to 4-1 in this tournament, and it's by good decision making and skill. So I would not doubt that he's going to stop at Astos if he's going towards Marsh Cave in any functionality.
See, you say that, but we've seen a lot of Marsh Cave checks already in the round of 16, by which I mean more than 0.
I mean, some of them have even paid off. Although, actually, what ended up happening was that Blood Punch ended up losing that race where he went to Marsh first, so maybe it didn't pay off.
I'm just saying, we have a lot of really good runners in the round of 16, and Marsh Cave keeps happening, so I have to point out that Sforzand0 is heading back to Elfland.
Okay, so he's likely to go back for Astos at this point after buying up some more magic with a little bit of extra cash that he's made on the way. xIceblue is going to go and blow up some pirates. Hang on, hold still for fire spells. All right, pirates are cooked. Okay. And xIceblue is going to get his crystal and continue cleaning out the town here.
Yeah, so I believe we are down to Gaia and Onrak for our vendor item at this stage of things.
Yep, we already had a caravan check, and we've seen every town down here with an item shop. Sforzand0 gets his floater. Again, he played it safe with, even though because he only has the 1 fire caster, so he was not going to be able to put out as much damage as xIceblue. So he kind of had to feel that he was going to be behind on this fight for sure. Alright, xIceblue is going to wrap up his stay in Provoca here. Options are wide for him at this point in time, but he's only level 6.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the question is, what do you do at this point? I mean, Ice is apparently going to go ahead and do some POP grinding, pick up a few more levels. I'm wondering if he's just given up on danning that Black Mage. I mean, he still has him out front, but...
He hasn't bought him Fire 3 yet. I think if he buys that Black Mage Fire 3, that he's committed at that point. Frost Wolves are very, very light on the hit points. That's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, the deeper he gets into these levels with the Black Mage in tow, because, it's one of those things, he could easily stall out a fight and make sure that mage dies, but it is kind of getting to the point where you have to wonder if it's worth it to bother damning him.
No, I think you need to keep him at this point. Again, you've got Fast and Temper and Fire 3 accessible to you. Yeah, level 2 was terrible, but, you've got the sweeper advantage at this point. You don't know that you have the sweeper advantage at this point, but...
But those Frost Wolves may have just solved Ice's problem for him. Or mostly solved it.
Alliger Brap, our wonderful tracker, who is keeping up with this race better than I am right now, knowing that xIceblue likes to dan a character. Which one do you dan? I really honestly think that White Mage has got to go at this point. Red Wizard can learn Life 2. White Magic has been a whole lot of nothing at this point, so... Pains me. I'm dying here.
But it does look like he's trying to get that Black Mage killed.
He's trying to get that Black Mage killed. He is doing the worst job I have ever seen.
Yeah, I'm also noticing that.
Like, you go save on the river, and you go find some hydras and get punched in the face.
But
Right,
he's curing the Black Mage's poison. Like, I think Ice may have just... I don't know what Ice's plan is here, but it'll be interesting to see.
I mean, it's to stock up on houses first, which is going to help his routing, while Sforzand0's stocking up on those mid-level spells.
Yeah, Sforzand0 finally cleared out Astos, so... And yeah, having to punch Astos to death, a little less ideal, but... Thank you, Elf Prince.
You're useless. Huh.
No, you know how it is. You've been in a coma for who knows how long. You don't know the latest innovations that happened before you were born. It happens.
Yeah, that could have even been useful in a past life.
Oh, I didn't catch Quad X at level 4.
Yeah, Quad X is good times.
Quad X is just one of those spells that, you know, you always appreciate having it handy.
I mean, you could certainly do worse at level 4. You could do a lot worse at level 4.
Meanwhile, ETAP making the observation in chat, the Black Mage may just be Rasputin in very fancy robes. Like, he has survived everything that Ice can throw at him.
Is the Black Mage still alive?
Yeah, no, Ice even cured his poisoning.
Black Mage
Like, it's one of those things, I just think this Black Mage refuses to die. And he's just standing there like, no, dude, you need me. I know you don't think you need me, but you do.
Like, is he memeing now, just leaving the Black Mage right out in front just in case? I'm just so confused.
I mean, he also could just be at this point sitting there going... He might just be trying to see how long this can take. Sforzand0, meanwhile, is, you know, going ahead and writing out his... whatchamacallit? Cardia Island checks. Picking up...
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say, picking up his class change, and he's going to be picking up that herb soon. Not that it matters.
Yep. We've got Fade at level 5 in slot 1, so... You know, I guess keeping that White Mage around has got some value too. It's hard to kill a mage here because the spells are just good enough at this point.
Now, at this point, I think we should start seeing what Ice is thinking in terms of where to go from here.
Looks like he's flying due east, which would mean that's going to be a plan Ordeals, which I think makes sense with a ton of fire spells at your disposal.
Yeah, and that looks to be correct. Yeah, this is a solid move. Ordeals is one of those dungeons you can pick up a little bit of experience cleaning out. You're going to get something useful out of it, especially because at this point, the only thing... Well, I guess both Canal and Bridge are still in play, so... But I don't think... I think those are more likely to wind up in chests than in the Ordeals chest.
Yeah, and with, you know, having 4 items that you still need to finish, Rod, Chime, Loot, and Key are all out in some place. You know, going where you've got guaranteed items and a good pile of experience as he takes on the Sphinx pack, which is another great one for getting some levels.
Yeah, and we forgot to call out the Opal armor find in Cardia Islands earlier, I think. That's also something both runners are going to enjoy, and Rasputin finally goes down to these Sphinxes.
Ah, rest in peace, Black Mage. Long may you reign in death.
In before xIceblue just revives the Black Mage anyway.
Clearly that just means that the Black Mage is a Lich.
Hey, Liches are people too.
No, they're not. Do you see how much respect Liches get in these flags?
No, that's the Lich.
Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake.
But alas, it looks like the reign of Dan has ended.
Wandering Keeper is trying to get Dan's hat.
I mean, in all fairness, it's a pretty swanky hat. Not quite red mage swanky, but swanky.
I mean, it's no cat ear hood. What? I have a thing.
I got nothing, Dimmerine.
I think
because it sounded like I'm not 100% even sure what that's a reference to.
The cat ear hood. The White Wizard's hat. The White Wizard for like every single sprite recolor for this game.
Okay, you said cat ear. I thought you said Kinder, and I was deeply concerned because no one likes Kinder.
Yeah, basically. Speaking of things that have things, though, Medusas have Toxic. Blasted xIceblue in the face with some poison, and now he is back to the bottom of the castle.
You know who would have handled that poison like a champ?
Who?
Dan. I'm just saying.
Well, here we go again.
Meanwhile, Sforzand0 going for a more traditional move from the Swiss round and making a play on Armory.
Yeah, I can see this happening right now. I mean, you know, a little low on levels, but the gear can't hurt at this point. Oh, Zombles have poison! Oh god, stone poison, and that's another instant kill there.
You know, okay, at what point do you say to yourself, you know, I can come back for Ordeals later. I don't need this in my life right now.
I don't know. Like, it's a little hard, you know you're gonna need ribbons otherwise to get through that. Sforzand0 found a light axe in the armory so far, but xIceblue is through the pillar maze at least on this pass and finds some mancats for his trouble. And Grey Worm punching the white mage on Sforzand0's side, unsurprisingly.
Wait, you mean something actually targeted a white mage? I've never heard of that.
Nope, never happens.
Spoilers for those of you who've never seen races in Final Fantasy Randomizer. It happens all the time.
It's legitimately the Kraken 2 meme at this point.
It's the meme of like half the enemies in this game. If you have a white mage, they are headhunting.
I don't even know how the random number generator works that way. As xIceblue at least picks up an opal bracer or an opal bracelet here for his troubles, so he's gonna upgrade the armor on his black mage. Nope, or excuse me, his white mage. His black mage is dead.
Although he did try to hand the white mage chain armor first, which, while it is technically a cleric, they did not leave that part in when
not
making
that kind
this.
Of cleric, sure.
Yeah.
Sforzand0's run into some stun touch mucks who start just punching him a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he does know that all there really is in Armory is a pile of money and a coral sword.
And a light axe, but, you know, nothing that you can't just run by at this point.
You have Fire 3, you don't need a light axe.
I like your style. I mean, maybe he decides that pile of money is worth having, though, and goes back down to it for a second dip into the armory.
Now, it's also a bunch of houses, and oh, hey, look, there's the ruby. Ice is not even going to bother fighting the zombie dragons.
I think he's seen enough of Ordeals at this point for an entire race.
I mean, yeah, he did run the risk of taking a step and getting into another fight.
you know, getting blown up by, like, Medusas with Toxic, or Zombles with Stone Poison, or, you know... We haven't seen Cremate yet, have we?
Not yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
I mean, I just mentioned it. It's gotta show up now.
It'll be on a bird.
Oh, don't say that. That's awful.
You're the one who evoked Cremate. I'm just the one pointing out the inevitable result of it.
Cremation?
Yes. But xIceblue is going to feed the Titans, so we're going to find out what's in these 4 chests.
And xIceblue is going to score some fantasy points for everybody who's got him picked. Thanks, xIceblue! Good job!
Look, that Titan's getting fed a lot in these flags, unless you just find the ruby so late that you know there can't be anything down there.
I need those points, damn it.
I'm just holding out for Fuzzy Mage.
If there's anybody who's gonna meme hard, you went for it.
Yes, we do have a fantasy league for the bracket stage of this tournament. That is the beginning and end of that statement. Ice, living up to his name, he's gonna go ahead and dip Ice Cave.
Good luck, xIceblue. We salute you.
Well, we know that a lot of the problems are currently living in Ordeals.
True, as xIceblue starts to slough off some encounters here to get a better table there. And in chat is Tyrannex saying hi. I guess you mentioned memes and certain people start showing up, and I guess Tyrannex is one of them?
Well, that tells us that the other race on the Speed Gaming family has wrapped up, since Tyrannex should be tracking that right now, and if it's still going on, get back to work, Tyrannex.
Vote our coordinator for communications of this tournament, doing an excellent job, and of course, making sure that people do the right thing. So xIceblue, no fade charges yet, looks at these packs of undead and goes, I'm good, while Sforzand0 attempts to clean out the upper armory, knowing that, again, there are still 3 items loose in the world that he needs to get his hands on, most likely.
And Tyrannex revealing that my backup plan for my bracket is now dead.
Did Split Punch lose?
Yep.
That's unfortunate. Not from a fantasy standpoint, by the way. I was actually rooting for Split Punch. He taught me a lot about this game, you know, in terms of routing and in terms of skill setups and everything. So, yeah, again, there's no free matchups here in the round of 16. Everything is hard. Like all of these runners are fantastic.
Yeah. No, like it is one of those things, you know. Part of the reason these seeds are a lot trollier is because everyone at this stage can handle it.
Yeah, if you've made it this far, you know, you've got to have the ability to quickly practice and pick up the routes because, you know, the experienced runners are going to, you know, chew you up and eat you alive. It's just that, you know, Brat and Split are both very, very experienced runners. Sforzand0 and xIceblue falling really neatly into that category as well. You know, we've got a couple of rookies floating around in the brackets, but, you know, a lot of the old hands are really showing what they're capable of. Catmen have stun touch as well, giving Sforzand0 the business a little bit out here outside of Ordeals, so...
Yeah,
Axel,
I don't know if he's... Go ahead.
Axel's giving me junk in chat, and I understand. I kind of stumbled over my words there. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm wondering if Sforzand0's picked up a weapon for his ninja yet.
Unsure.
Because it didn't look like that ninja was swinging for very much. And ninjas are pretty decent damage dealers if you can get something in their hot little hands.
Yep. xIceblue finds Frost Dragons with Rub, but is able to run away from the second pack and gets a first strike.
Oh no, not Rub. However, will we survive Rub?
I mean, the knight died. Life 2 is the only reason that knight's alive right now.
Rub is still trash.
Don't cast rub, everybody. Sforzand0 is lighting these Medusas on fire and hasn't quite realized yet that they are going to murder him in a second.
I mean, if he keeps getting fire off first.
Nope, not this time. Nope.
He almost made it out of that anyway.
Yeah, no, now he's just dead. xIceblue doesn't find anything in the bottom 6 chests in Ice Cave and is going to keep on moving towards the side chests.
Point of order, he did find money that he really doesn't need at this point.
True.
Although I guess he does still technically need money. We don't know how much the vendor item costs.
Yeah, it's in Onrak or Gaia. It might be 65 grand.
Oh, look, unrunnable wizards. Where have I seen that before?
That's that vanilla taste right there. Oh god.
Oh, unrunnable wizards who know wall. This is going to be fun.
Well, we either might be here a while. xIceblue is starting to cast fog too, because he knows what's up. Man, oh man.
So, here's the real question that this kind of occurred to me. Is xIceblue arguing that Tyras are named Dan?
I don't know. I mean, that's kind of antithetical to their existence, right? Because if you Dan it, they're dead. I mean, you kill them. Not even your friend.
I mean, maybe it's some sort of, like, you know, koan thing, where like, by contemplating his names and the paradox inherent in it, we can draw closer to enlightenment.
We're really stretching tonight, aren't we?
Okay, xIceblue is stuck in a fight with unrunnable wizards who know Bane and Wall, and Sforzand0 is going through the Temple of Ordeals from Hell. What else are we going to talk about?
I mean, the fact that wizard melee'd for 10 because xIceblue has 2 fog charges upon his team and actually gets to fight alive. Man, Ice is gonna mash that exit button so hard for like 4 seconds here.
He's still got to go collect that incentive chest.
He's got to kill an eye.
What eyes have.
Could have glare for all we know at this point in time. That'd be fitting. Well, we're not about to find out if it's got glare, but man, this is gonna be a while.
Why is every dungeon awful in this seed so far?
Because we don't have, like, level 1 fade to push us through all of the content.
This is a fair point. Oh, look, it's the rod. Let's go to another dungeon that's going to suck.
Is there a single dungeon that's not going to suck in this seed?
I mean, the Titan's Tunnel isn't so bad.
Sforzand0 decides to fight a zombie dragon after this terrible, terrible dungeon so far, so we'll see what's there.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I don't disagree with going ahead and fighting the zombie dragon. Like, you know you're going to see them again when you hit Ordeals. And if they have anything terrible turn 1, you'd like to know that before you hit the end game.
Yeah, but you also don't want to lose all that progress out of the castle, because, you know, getting lit 3 right in the face is not a pleasant way to end your run in Ordeals. As chat is giving us the history of the name Dan for everybody, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, it has a long storied tradition, the Final Fantasy speedrunning community, courtesy of our gracious host Fiesel.
Yep, Final Fantasy 1 speedrunner, you know, and generally pretty good guy.
Alright, so Sforzand0 has made his way out of Ordeals with his ruby in hand. So, let's find out where he's gonna go.
Yeah, I mean he's hurting in terms of routing. He's got the top half of Volcano cleaned out right now. He's got the Ruby in hand. xIceblue has the advantage in terms of Ice Cave at this point in time. Ordeals is done for everybody. We still haven't gone and found the Caravan item, which could be a pretty big deal at this point.
Now, the bright side of doing all these dungeons before hitting on Rack and Gaia is, even if it's something like max price Chime, we're going to be able to afford it by the time we get to it.
Absolutely, and so the Mucks had Gaze for the Paralyze effect, but they're also just absolutely murdering that White Mage because they hit hard.
Yeah. An enemy that comes in large numbers that can paralyze it's the worst thing.
Yep.
Like, at least things that kill you, like... Sorry. At least things that, pump out a lot of damage quickly. At least the fight's over fast because you're dead.
Having seen somebody get stuck with stun touch green Medusas in the bracket round, or in the Swiss rounds, and just slowly getting whittled away on Earth floor until they decided to say, well, screw it, I'm out.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. It's literally just the game going, I bet I can bore you to death.
Seems legit.
I can't kill you necessarily, but I can make sure you don't have fun.
It's less killing you and more breaking your spirit. xIceblue has the staff collection, starts to discard a bunch of them, but he has a power staff, an ice staff, or a power staff, a heal staff, a wooden staff, and an iron staff.
Power staff being the most disappointing weapon ever.
Unless it sells for like max price, and then you're super psyched about it.
It never sells for max price.
I'm a wishful thinker. xIceblue trying to get away from these Fiends because they're still pretty dangerous in these packs of 4 with their stun touch rates are just not going down to fire spells at this point, so the slow grind continues over here on Sforzand0's side. Fire 2 making work of them eventually.
So one thing I didn't notice until just now is that both Fade and Nuke are available to the Red Wizard. I'm sure chat brought it up, but I wasn't paying attention to them because who pays attention to chat?
I mean, I pay attention to chat. I like chat. Hi, chat!
Freaking chat. Always just correcting me when I'm wrong.
Oh, whoa! That's double rub. Rub on Knight, rub on Red Mage. And you're the one who said that rub never hits anything.
Well, yes, but if you've learned anything over the course of this tournament, it's that the runners are inevitably going to make a liar out of me.
What was the first spell that we had in the play-in race this week?
Wasn't that Rob?
Sadly, it was Rub. Sforzand0 killing mages for experience points. xIceblue trying to work his way through this giant pack and get out of there so he can keep looting this floor. Nothing is dying fast in the seed, so we are just watching these runners try and get up that experience, like basically praying for a Masamune to fall from the sky at this point.
They're in double digits at this point as far as levels go, I think both of them, and these fights are still taking forever.
Yeah, we are just, we are slogging along right now. But the best weapon you've got is a light axe. Your knight is not going to be hitting very hard, your ninja's not going to be hitting very hard.
So I think that the Great Ogres also have Rub.
xIceblue runs into those mucks again with Para Touch and Gaze, and he's not having a good time over there. Fuchsia Fantasy is asking who's winning. I haven't kept track of the order of operations here at this point in time, but Sforzand0's a bit behind because xIceblue took a huge gamble at the start with his double Firecasters, taking out Astos early because they got the crown very early on from the Excuse me, they got the crown very early on from the TNT dwarf because Sarah had Sarah had explosives. Yeah, the Mucks are winning. The Mucks are killing everybody right now. The Wizards aren't any better. They've got Wall and Bane. But yes, turned into Astos, and Astos gave him the floater, so IceBlue got up in the air a little bit faster than Sforzand0, who went and did grounded checks to Circle of Sages and Provoke a first before doubling back. And Matoya, actually, before doubling back, because we had an item chain that took us that way. Ruby's at the top of Ordeals. Circle of Sages ended up having the tail. Crystal was with the pirate suit to go straight to Matoya, who kind of laughed at you for a moment, but gave you the cube, so you were happy about that. We found the loot box, everybody! We've added loot boxes to this game, folks, but there's one on the lower floor of Volcano.
Yeah, so I do think that's a little bit closer than that early airship advantage would indicate, because, you know, I struggled a lot more in Ordeals than Sforzand0 did. Like, Sforzand0, I think, had to only take a couple of resets before he was out.
This is true. Some dungeon routing has been better, because IceBlue's been... If IceBlue had that Black Mage up, he'd be lower in levels, but I think there'd be the potential for him to have been sweeping through these areas a little bit more quickly, so I think he's taking a bit of a risk here with that Dan Black Mage, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. He does at least pick up the power bonks. That's going to help with some of these Beefgate enemies.
Red Hydras have Glance.
Oh, that's going to make the Bridge of Destiny fun.
Yeah, no, getting, hopefully you'll have ribbons for that, because they're going to be stoning you as groups. Sforzand0 slowly working his way through this wizard pack right now, while IceBlue has found some bulls. Looks at that one Fade charge longingly and decides to hang on to it.
Unfortunately, this seed does not feature the running of the bulls. It's more of the waiting.
Another unrunnable pack? Oh, well.
I mean, you want to see the unrunnables on things you're not going to see again.
Things that you do want to see runnable, literally lobsters and water elementals.
In all fairness to Sforzand0, that... You gotta be getting sick of seeing wizards.
They're not taking very much damage. IceBlue finds a mage staff, though, slaps it on the white mage, so now he can start trying to cook with the white mage, too, because that casts Fire 2 on use. Drumboard states that unrunnable Badman is not a thing I want to see, like, ever. Yeah, I'm into that.
I think we have seen it somewhere in this tournament.
Yeah, I was a part of that.
Why is it that every terrible thing I can think of happened to you and I just forgot about it?
You've been watching a lot of my matches, I think, is the thing. But also just everybody has their many terrible thing stories. It's just that, you know, I think they all start blurring together. As IceBlue, I think, is initiating an Agama grind here.
I think he's at least going to fight this Agama because it's on the way. He knows the Agamas are basically free. He might as well get a little extra experience.
Now there's a back and forth. That's Agama number 3 at this point. Oh, nope, man, this Agama grind's about to end.
I didn't see what he just did to the Red Mage.
Red Mage got squinted.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Everything you want to fight in this has an instant death spell, except for, so far, the Eye.
Yes, but you want out of the ice cave by the time you get there.
Yeah, you don't want to try and take on those big packs of the undead on the offstep, because you have no big magic spells.
But Sforzand0 is ignoring our clever advice.
Fun Police punched the White Mage. And the Red Dragon has a ton of evasion to boot.
And we're going to see some quad X strats, see if we can just, you know, erase this Red Dragon.
No, we can't. The Red Dragon's got a ton of hit points. Sforzand0 is actually initiating an eye grind, though, here. It looks like this is eye number 2, so... I think he found the one safe enemy to grind and is just like, yeah, I'm happy doing this for a little bit. Level 12 is not going to be enough to get me through this game.
Yeah, considering what we've seen so far. All of that for 550 gold.
And to get to run from another Agama who might squint him again.
You know what's going to be fun, Demarine?
What's gonna be fun?
Fire Floor.
Fire Floor is never fun.
Yeah, but with 4 Agamas with Squint?
Let's hope you've got 3 ribbons and a bunch of pro rings, because... yeah.
But we are going to see our first Fiend fight here at about the 50-minute mark.
Alright, we are power bonking the night. We are getting our spells up. We're going to get our Fog 2 working, so we're going to get our defensive magics up as well, just in case of Carrie deciding to brain somebody. You know, please don't kill the White Mage. Leads off with Ink, which is, you know, basically blank. I mean, that's about as good as it gets. Gonna bonk one more time. Gonna fast up the Knight. Alright, Knight is powerful now. Alright, 3 stacks of Fog 2, so we're nice and armored up. We're big and tanky against anything but crits. Knight takes a crit for 80 damage. 7-hit crit for 80. So, you know, Fog 2 at least doing its work on that front. We're gonna heal the Knight. We're gonna temper the Knight. 7 hits for 7 that time, but he swings back for 327. Probably gonna see a Quad X come out here, or another Temper. That doesn't make any sense. That Knight's plenty powerful.
I mean, it's better to go ahead and confirm the kill.
Oh yeah, that kill is very confirmed. Another hit for 329, and Sforzand0's back in the Volcano. xIceblue, of course, gets the Troll encounter right after the Orb. Because the Seed, of course, you know, why not?
Alright, and Sforzand0 again following Ice's footsteps.
Gonna try and clean out the upper half here. xIceblue, of course, lights the first orb of this competition at 50 minutes. Yes, Sforzand0's missed a couple of chests back here, I think, so he's gonna go and try and clean out Volcano at this point, so...
Yeah, and that's just the nature of the beast here in these bracket flags. You can't really afford to leave anything behind until you have all of your access items.
Yep. xIceblue about to go and get his cube here. Sforzand0 about to get a whole lot of nothing from this rear chest. E-Tap is punning in chat, everybody. Appreciate all his work.
Meanwhile, Ice is going to go ahead and magic up his Knight.
Yep, always good to have heal 3, fog 2. You know your big raft of power spells. Goes back into the black magic shop and probably is met with another wave of disappointment. As Sforzand0 is killing fire elementals for levels right now, which is really handy.
Yeah, levels and money.
You need both of them, so. Right, so good time for the magic loop here, though, for sure, for xIceblue. So getting nice and stocked up. He's also going to buy some... Doesn't buy any of the gold bracelets, but they're only 9k.
I think we're finally going to see what's in Gaia.
Yep, xIceblue is going to try and wrap up his vendor item checks here, it looks like. Oh, excuse me.
No problem. At the very least, we're going to narrow down which, what we're going to see in on-rack.
Maybe I'll get lucky and have a cheap bottle here.
And we are going to be heading to on-rack to get that last item.
But not before grabbing some heal potions and topping back up on items. Right, Sforzand0 found the loot now, so he has some instrumentation on his side.
So fortunately, Sforzand0 did not skip over that power bonk chest.
Yep, he knows he's still got items to find out in the world, so he was not gonna miss that. But he's also getting a pro ring for trouble, so getting geared up pretty quickly here. He's gonna wrap up his dive of Volcano soon enough, while xIceblue looks like he's setting up to dump some encounters in front of Waterfall Cave. Looks like he found a very convenient Frostgator encounter for himself, so he's going to try and pick up a little bit of extra experience with his Lightning 2 and Fade charges.
That's legit. You got plenty of houses to spare. And, you know, Waterfall Cave is one of those dungeons that on paper doesn't seem that bad, but then, you know, you go in there and suddenly it's just like, oh, this is the slog that I never wanted.
This is very true, and we mentioned that birds probably have cremate, so...
We didn't say they probably had cremate. I'm just being a pessimist and assuming that they will.
Well, because I brought it up. Alright, see if Sforzand0. Sforzand0's going to run from the Agama and not find out quite yet that the Agama are dangerous. xIceblue has decided to house grind here, which I always appreciate, but now is into Ice Cave. Looks like Sforzand0 is done with encounters in Volcano for now.
But not until he gets into a staring contest with an Agama.
And loses. Life 2 has been doing an awful lot with the seed.
I mean, when it comes that early on, you might as well. Like, this is the kind of seed where you kind of want that.
Yeah. So we've got Sforzand0 bonking and fog 2ing and fasting the night, just the same as we saw in the first fight. While we're at the spike chest for xIceblue right now, there's a wave of buffs going out. Wizard Mummies have Dazzle, that's not exactly tons of fun. Alright, Knight's getting tempered, more fog charges coming out. Or nope, that's a heal 3, 6 for 218 the first swing, so, you know, Sforzand0's in good shape here. Red Mage gets punched really hard.
Question in chat, why do people buy Quad X if they never use it? Because it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
So the robot looks like he just hands over the leg, just as like, here, take my leg. It's a leg made of adamant though, so it's a valuable leg, but that's all it is.
And Ice is going to take this fight again. I'm pretty sure he has exit charges, so he's just doing this for a little extra XP.
Yeah, he's got the Mage Staff and the Light Axe, so I guess he's figuring that, you know, he's getting some breaks on encounters here, so he's just going to go ahead and use his use items to get a bunch of experience, which is always great. You can make this grind go indefinitely with items.
And before damage poison mummies.
I mean, the Wizard Mummies have group stun, so they can be a little problematic.
And having gotten to level 17 with one of his characters, I don't recall which, xIceblue is going to sail for greener pastures.
Or probably for Onrak.
Yeah, just to clarify, the Adamant does not lead to the Excalibur and the Seeds. Like every other fetch quest NPC, the Blacksmith can now give you an incentive item, and Excalibur is not in the incentive pool.
Slab is 46,500 gold in Onrak. Had to be there. It's the only place that was left.
Yeah. That'll be convenient for that trek to turn the Adamant, because Meltman's right there next to the Dwarf Cave.
And instead of doing Sea Shrine now, he decides to... It looks like he's going to decide to fill out those fetch quests. He does have the Oxyal from earlier, because he did talk to Sarda, but decides to bug out instead. Chat mentioning that that's an expensive chunk of rock. Yes, but it teaches you the most complicated language in the entire game.
I mean, look, Leaf and Ish is very clearly tonal. there's probably some elements of, I don't know how many languages rely explicitly on timing between syllables to express a shades of meaning, but there's a lot of nuance to Leafinish, and I for one think that the good Dr. Un is an amazing scholar for managing to kind of work it all out.
Can someone clip that, please?
I am low-key a linguistics nerd, by the way.
That's totally fantastic. The adamant turned into the chime, by the way, so I guess the robot's leg was a bell.
No. The blacksmith shaped it into a bell.
With his trusty hammer and other tools.
I mean, that's how you make bells.
That's fair. So far tonight, we've talked about linguistics, bell making, and this race. Perilisks don't seem to have cremate yet, though, so that's probably good, right?
Yeah, it probably means that we're not going to see any jerk birds tonight. Unless we count, like, wyverns and worms, who could still be jerk birds. Yep.
Barrage and Sky are open. The Leffen guy, we still need the key. The key is the last item out there that we care about. We have access to all of the other major items. Rod's been found, Oxyle Cube and Chime are good. Loot we got in the volcano. And of course we have the canoe and the floater because we're non-rack right now.
Yeah, have we seen the bottle yet? Because he could have the bottle leading to Fairy with, thing we still need. Key.
Yep. Plus, there's 2 items still in boxes right now, so xIceblue is going to have to make a very, fairly thorough sweep of ice. So it looks like we probably are going to see the mermaids. Sforzand0 burns up the undead real quick here. Yep, xIceblue is gonna do a very thorough sweep of the undersea area here, but once our runners find the key, wherever it might be, they are done looking for key items, and that means that they're going to have to make a decision of whether they are go mode or not, and with the swords that they have right now, they're not.
Yeah, no, I believe that Ice might still be swinging that light axe.
Oh man.
Like, that's kind of how scarce things are at this point. You're using the light axe.
Yep, Sforzand0 buys his slab, very wise, so we can turn that into chime in a minute. Sforzand0 keeping up pretty well at this point in terms of distances. There's not too much separating these runners, but xIceblue is still holding on to that early advantage a little bit here an hour in. First weapon from the mermaids was the Thor Hammer, so the best weapon in the game for the white mage that is not the Masamune.
A question in chat from Vera78. Coming into this stream late, but why is xIceblue keeping his black mage dead? Is the black magic distribution just awful in the seed? No, what xIceblue is doing is a strategy called Danning from the normal speedrun. Because experience in this game is divided between all living party members, if you kill one of your party members, everyone else grows and level faster. And that means you have to spend less time grinding because you're getting XP much faster just from the battles you have to take along the way.
Alright, so Sforzand0's pulled up to the mermaids at this point in time. I mean, we're talking about like a floor and a half separating these runners right now. I don't think Sforzand0 behind any locations at this point.
I don't think so. I think what might be making the difference is Ice is spending a lot of time trying to get these manipulations.
Yeah.
I don't think Sforzand0's been spending that much time on it.
Yep. Go ahead, sorry.
I was going to say, it makes sense that would be the case. Sforzand0 has that ninja. It's a lot easier for him to pull out of fights.
Yeah. Just looking at the tracker, I think xIceblue has made the drop at the blacksmith and has dropped off the herb. Which, it's not exactly a ton of stuff at this point in time, because the herb, of course, is a blank. It turns into the ship. And so, he knows that he's gonna need to drop off the adamant for the chime at this point, but, is, only like a couple of fetch quest steps behind at this point, as xIceblue is starting to clean out the other floor for the mermaids here.
Yeah, that dragon armor is a really good pickup, especially with Pro Rings and Aegis Shield in play.
Yeah, get your knight that full protection in case a ribbon doesn't show up. At least you've got protection for nearly everything, which will keep your knight alive through a lot of situations.
And judging by chat's reaction, I think we did stumble across a Bane Sword somewhere in the mermaid area.
Yep, that's it. They had the Bane Sword and the Thor Hammer. When you're looking for weapons, I don't think those are the weapons that you're expressly looking for. And we've got unrunnable ghosts.
We do. And someone in chat asking, Smashy is asking, wait, did that shark just run? Yes, it probably did. Enemies in this game do have morale, and they will roll morale against your party's level. And will go, I want none of this, and they will run like scared little sharks.
Yeah, don't blame them. Alright, xIceblue has cleaned out all the chests here. Dragon armor, again, a great find, but other than that, not a ton of stuff going on here. But that 3 elemental protection, can't go wrong with that.
Fiends running away is the best thing in this entire game. Because yes, even the final boss has to roll morale. Chaos has a very high base morale. Chaos can still get scared away.
I mean, in theory, you can cast Fear on Carry 1, and Carry 1 will run from you.
God bless the status weakness.
This is a very strange game in terms of things like that.
I mean, to me, that's part of what makes it fun.
Oh.
It's like the Saga games, where it's just, there's so many weird systems that, quote-unquote, modern RPGs just don't have, but that contribute to just making the game have so many things you can do.
Indeed. Panzer Dragoon asking, what happens when a feed runs away? Well, they ran away, you win. Yeah, you get the orb, but you win the fight.
You don't get as much experience, but who cares?
Who cares? You win! Winning is the important part when it comes to themes. You don't care how.
Yeah, I mean, technically, by the plot of the game, you already have the orbs. You're just trying to power them up.
Chaos making the note, it's actually possible to exit without stepping on the orb altar. Yeah, no one's ever done that before, though.
There are a lot of special things that can happen in this game.
Right. Indeed. So xIceblue is dipping the other side of the underwater at this point, because that's what we've got to do. We need to go and find Kraken and, make seafood soup. Sforzand0's exited out from the mermaid side and is leaving.
Well, I can see this. The Kraken dive is relatively quick. You have all these incentive spots you can go check real fast.
True. Alright, Sforzand0 did go and turn in, get his chime. So getting caught up on fetch quests here while xIceblue continues to dive towards the Kraken and clearing out some chests here. Decides to take the spike tile instead of walk around the back.
I mean, it's one of those things. Kraken 1 can be incredibly dangerous. So it's one of those things where, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily not try to take advantage of getting a little extra experience where I could.
True.
Especially running the 3-man strat that xIceblue is running. while it does guarantee that you're generally going to have a higher average level than your opponent if your opponent doesn't do the same thing, the trade-off is that if anything gets something nasty on you out the gate, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it does make your ability to bounce back a lot weaker, as, picks up a silver armor at least, gets an ice armor for his ninja, so ninja's well protected now. All of a sudden, his first floor Mirage gets cleaned out to start for Sforzand0. Finds an ice sword. That's actually really exciting right now.
Ice sword, actually a viable viable in-game weapon generally.
I mean, it's not preferred, but, you take what you can get sometimes.
That's why we use the word viable, Demarine.
Ah.
Viable doesn't mean we like it. Viable just means that it's an option. But yeah, no one wants to go to the end game with an ice sword if it can be helped. They just can accept that it's necessary sometimes.
Alright, well, lobsters are runnable, but xIceblue gonna stand his ground, and they have stun touch. Delete lobsters from this game forever.
Look, we either have to deal with lobsters or gargoyles. Pick your poison.
Gargoyles, 100%. All the time.
See, you say that until progression is in that back corner of Armory on a table that has, gargoyles as the common encounter.
Para-touch lobsters. I mean, it's not stone-touch lobsters or death-touch lobsters like we've seen in this tournament already. Or lobsters with crack.
Basically, everything in this game is terrible, and everything sucks.
Yeah, pretty much everything can kill you all of a sudden out of nowhere.
It's great.
We're going with Bane strats on xIceblue side, though, and Vampires have Mute, which is, gonna shut off all item usage as well as spells, which is very annoying, but White Mage is fine.
Yep.
Well, xIceblue is going to run from the lobsters this time as he's getting pretty close to Kraken.
I mean, outside of that ice sword and, some decent armor for the ninja, so far Mirage Tower hasn't had a whole lot.
No, not at all. I mean, we've still got a few chests here in greater than less than, but otherwise I think he exits out and saves and then starts getting ready to go up the rest of it. Can't keep running from ends of dungeons at this point because that's how you lose time. Double dipping is a very dangerous game because that's a guaranteed time loss if your opponent doesn't need to double dip. And this ends up looking like the gamble that's not going to pay off for Sforzand0, as he does not really find anything of interest here in Mirage at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't necessarily need to worry about walking anything out, just because at this stage of the game, he knows everything of value is on the first floor of Mirage. If he does take a wipe trying to, get up higher, he can just run back in, grab that ice sword, probably just grab the flame armor next to it and not even bother with the ice armor, and then head on up.
Alright, and so Sforzand0 is getting prepped, it looks like. Gonna see if the Wall of Tentacles is a danger today, or if it's all gonna be alright through these fog charges.
Yeah, one problem is with, fog can provide some protection, but sometimes Kraken just doesn't care about your absorb.
Nope. However, it's gonna start by putting the Red Mage to sleep. Well, we've got some bonking, and we've got some fogging, and we've got some fast on Kraken. Oh boy.
See, this is where that fog 2 might not necessarily mean a thing.
I mean, the big thing is that even on a critical strike, the fog will reduce the base damage, not the critical damage, so it still does something. But Kraken 2 decides to fast up and then cast Fire 2, which is probably exactly what you wanted to see there.
Yeah, this may save Ice's bacon, the Kraken going with Fire 2 first.
Yep. Sforzand0 kills a blue dragon off, so it looks like he's going to the upper half. Enough temper charges in any weapon looks good. That was 4 for 535. Kraken hits 15 times on the White Mage, but does not crit, so the White Mage survives. 15 hits is just a scary number, but it didn't matter because through all those fog charges didn't do anything, and Kraken gets axed. Take a tentacle home as a souvenir, everybody. There's 8 of them.
You know there's more than 8 people watching, right?
First 8.
You heard the lady, folks. First 8.
So it looks like xIceblue is going to get a little bit of an edge here because of the no double dip on the water shrine here.
Nice, getting that slab translated.
Yeah, I think he goes to Lefane now because Sky is definitely in his sights, but I'm wrong. I'm bad. That's a dip to Earth. Sforzand0 finding a Grey Naga fight, which is a great one for experience because even though they're vaguely healthy, that's 880 per character, which is just a great pickup in terms of experience for a single target.
And since they're unrunnable anyway.
Well, you didn't want to run from them in the first place, so you take them when you can get them. Ice starts the Earth dip here. It's going to start doing some resets on the first floor chests to get started.
Yes, Sforzand0 already knowing that these eyes are made of paper.
Yeah.
You know, gonna go ahead and take those fights as well.
So if the key is down here, I'm going to start screaming on stream, everybody, just so you're aware. Sforzand0 finds a sword, finally. And with fast enough temper charges, that sword will get the job done. It's the Vorpal Sword.
Try to contain your excitement, folks. You know who I'm talking to.
Will Cleos is in the chat. Good evening. But yes, Alliger Brap, yes, you are correct, sir. You have nothing better than Game Changer. You are going to try and change the game.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. Vorpal is absolutely the kind of sword you want to see if you're in either of these runners' shoes.
Yeah. Also, no key in the dual chests on floor 1 of Earth, so no screaming for everybody. You're welcome.
Shoutouts to Cyclone.
Shoutouts to Cyclone, who rolled this seed, which has been relatively normal, all things considered.
Which just means that Temple of Fiends is going to just be the worst.
Sforzand0 picks up the second Pro Cape, so gets a Game Changer, gets Pro Cape number 2. xIceblue finds a katana and walks away from it, because of course he doesn't need it, but, you know, we'll see if Sforzand0 ends up finding it.
I think it's the second katana we saw, but I cannot recall for the... Oh, that's right, it was in Sharknado Room.
Yep. Which Sforzand0 has not seen yet, because he dipped out of ice. xIceblue finds a Sun Sword, though, so, you know, he's going to upgrade on his knight a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that is an in-game viable sword.
Yep, well, with Bonk and enough temper charges, you know, you can do anything.
Well, I mean, Sun Sword has, I think, the 3rd highest damage in the game.
Yeah, it's a solid.
4th.
It's, I believe it's 4th. It sits behind Defense Sword, Excalibur, and Mazamune.
I think I might sit ahead of Defense. I think Defense is like a 30, where the Sun is a 32.
Really? Interesting.
I'm sure someone who actually knows the numbers is going to come in and clarify, but... Yeah, it's just that the Sun Sword doesn't really bring a lot to the table outside of damage.
Yeah. Right, Allier Brap is correcting. Yes, Sun is better in terms of raw damage, but I think Defense has a higher hit multiplier, so it gets its hits earlier, which is sensible.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where, you know, the Sun Sword is one of those swords that you can easily beat the game with. You just need a little bit of buffing love.
xIceblue is cleaning out Earth Cave still, while Sforzand0 is attempting to get away from some of these encounters and start cleaning out the upper floor of Sky.
Fortunately, he is Sforzand0 is through the tedious part of Sky at this point.
And without warp, having to clear out all of these chests is also pretty tedious, admittedly.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is just, you know, you don't want to do Asterisk Room to begin with, and you really don't want to have to do it when you have to walk.
Yep. We haven't seen a lot of Asterisk Room in the Swiss stages, but oh, hello there! Well, Game Changer be gone. The game has truly changed now.
Yeah, that Vorpal is going to live on the ninja unless Sforzand0 finds the better Vorpal, aka the katana. Then that Vorpal's going to go live on the red mage.
Right? Hands down, Masamune is the best sword in the game. It has the highest hit rate, it has the highest damage. It slices, it dices, it drops fiends without a single buff a lot of the time. It's exactly what you want on your knight for the end game.
And a pro ring pickup, that's nice.
Yep. There we go, 4 hits for 700 on a crit, everybody.
Yeah, that is probably going to help Sforzand0 close a little bit of this gap that having to double dip Sea Shrine is going to cause.
I mean, Sforzand0 is not afraid of anything, and now if xIce finds the key, that could be a dangerous pick, because green chests have ribbon number 1. So we finally, right after 1 hour and 20 minutes, have a Masamune and a ribbon. And xIceblue is having a moment, everybody. The memes are real.
Yeah, the nice thing for Ice is unless he go-modes Sky, he is going to at least get that 1 ribbon.
And even if he's go-moding Sky, a lot of people hit those 4 chests anyway, because they're pretty close. xIceblue finds the defense sword this time, so he's got another endgame sword in his hands. Also lets you self-cast Ruse.
I think that defense sword was in the exact same spot in the 6 p.m. race over on Speed Gaming 2.
The race that didn't happen, right?
The point being, Cyclone, stop putting the defense sword there.
We didn't even have to get the Bless RNGs out, everybody. We've got the robot.
And Sforzand0 is going to take this fight. He has Masamune, he's got Fast and Temper handy.
And
that Fog 2 might help.
Knight 2 for 175. A little bit beat up, but not badly so. Gonna burn up those temper charges on the Knight.
Yeah. Tiamat 2 should not pose any threat, even if you have to just go unbuffed. And you have the Power Bonk anyway.
That was a hit for 10 97.
Nice!
And then the white mage goes and snipes the kill. Good job.
I believe that's what the folks in the fighting game community call a cherry tap.
And of course right afterwards we've got Unrunnable Airs, the worst thing in the world. Well, it's like 4th worst thing in the world. They're pretty bad. Alright everybody, if you had Sforzand0 in the Fantasy League, that sure is a dead robot. xIceblue finds the black shirt for his dead black mage. Yeah.
Black shirt and defense, really the only things we've seen out of these chests here on Earth.
Yep. We're getting very close to Key and Marsh Cave.
See, I was just sitting here thinking about that.
Well, I'm gonna say it. I'm not afraid.
Okay, quick question. Sforzand0 did go check the 6 chests on the right on the 3rd floor of Sky, right?
I hope so.
Because I'm not remembering if there was anything over there. And I'm hoping that's because there was just nothing over there and not because he didn't actually go over there.
I hope so too. But these two runners an hour 23 in, they're giving us quite the show as xIceblue is looking to fight these wizards off very slowly. We've got a Tiamat pull, we've got a Bane Sword use here, it looks like. It looks like we're trying to get this dragon to breathe deep and die. And it does not quite work the first time around.
Alright, Varus in chat pointing out that there might have been, that he thinks the pro ring, well, they think the pro ring might have been over there. I think that's right. I think that was where the pro ring was, so... Okay, be still my heart.
Yay. Alright, and 7 hits, 408 critical with the Maul's Immune. Lightning 2 on the backswing is going to hurt the ninja a little bit, but the rest of the party's doing alright. We got some quad X sightings here. We're going to try and wipe out the dragon now. Knight takes 7 damage from that attack. Thank you, Dragon Armor. And Tiamat gets cut down. Sforzand0 lighting up orb number 2. Air Orb is in the books, as xIceblue is going to Lich Floor as soon as he gets away from these images.
And it looks like Sforzand0 is going to go ahead and go take care of Sea Shrine now. Which, this is probably going to... Like I said, it's probably going to balance the scales a little bit when it comes to xIceblue's clear, just because Sforzand0's got much better weaponry.
And a ribbon for safety purposes, so, and he's probably going to be popping the chest open on the way down, so that'll happen. But he fears no fiend at this point with the Moss Immune, the Dragon Armor, the Adamant, or excuse me, the Aegis Shield, the One Ribbon, Pro Rings on everybody. What's he doing? He looks like he's leaving.
Yeah, I guess he changed his mind. Oh, I wonder if he's going to go turn in that slab. Did he turn the slab already?
Nope, he's going to stop in Gaia first. He doesn't have the bottle either. He's got the vendor item. He bought the slab.
Did he get the bottle and we just missed it?
I didn't see a bottle anywhere.
Oh! Maybe he needs heal potions and there weren't any available in on-rack. Or maybe he remembered that on-rack has... No, there aren't any heal potions in on-rack. I am deeply confused.
Alright, xIceblue is working his way down. He's got the slab in hand that he already translated, so he's working his way down to Lefang now. Sforzand0 resets himself back to Sea Shrine. Again, fears no fiend.
Yeah. I assume at this point, though, that Ice's plan is...
to keep opening boxes.
Okay, so the canal can be shuffled onto incentive places where it does not block progression.
Yep.
Good to know.
xIceblue finds a Tyro and runs from it.
So he's going to go dig out all of Sky.
Well, that's a good thing in terms of equipment, but it'll be a bad thing in terms of finding what he needs.
And I think this does mean that either Bottle or Key has to be... Bottle has to be in Marsh Cave, because Bottle can't lock itself.
Correct.
So Bottle's going to be in Marsh Cave, and then Key is at Ferry.
Yep, and there's a bridge out there too, so they could still just pull a bridge out of a box, sadly. But yeah, we've seen all of Sky, we've seen all of Sea, we've seen all of Volcano. xIceblue's cleaned out Earth already. We've done Waterfall, we've done Ice Cave to a completion, we've done Castle of Ordeals.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Actually, I guess the fairy could have the bridge, and he could also be in Marsh Cave.
True.
So, fingers crossed that our runners realize that it's a coin toss if they find the bottle first.
Yeah. But yeah, so xIceblue is now doing Sky, so it's going to start working. Ice is in Sky, right? Yeah, it's going to go work on that 4th orb because it has not done Tiamat yet. Sforzand0's in Water, trying to light up orb number 3. We'll still probably have a full clear of Earth and then a dive into Marsh Cave to do up afterwards. xIceblue after this has got to realize that Marsh is all that's left because he's going to open up like 1,000 treasure chests and find, well, a Mazamune and a ribbon, but
But when all this is said and done, I'm pretty sure that we're going to see both of these runners reach TOFR at about the same time.
yeah, I think xIceblue again has a little bit of an advantage without the double dip into Sea Shrine here, even with the faster Fiend fight and some faster combat. They're still having to clean out all the chests. Like, we're going to see that this is going to be like a 180 plus chest seed at this point. Which is absolutely insane to think about.
Yeah, the only unfortunate thing is that we can't keylock the key.
You really want an item to be in the center chest in Keylock Marsh, don't you?
Keylock Marsh is love. And hate.
Mostly hate. Do it, Sforzand0. Discard the Vorpal Sword. No, he's gonna give the Vorpal Sword to the Red Mage, of course.
Yeah,
but...
you got that Red Mage, and the Red Mage is still rocking the Coral Sword. You're handing off something. Now he's gonna keep the Ice Sword on the Red Mage and keep the Vorpal handy on the Ninja.
xIceblue finds a pack of green Medusas, gonna poison smoke them and Mage Staff them and hammer them, and definitely wants the experience from that pack of 4, so is very happy to see that pop up. xIceblue definitely trying to continue leveraging the level advantage here. You know, this is a great place to push out your levels. Puts the Vorpal Sword on the corpse. Is he trying to make a statement, Woke?
I mean, either that or he figures that, you know, if he needs it, he can just pull it off of the hat next to the fighter.
Tyrannix commenting that the Marsh Cave doesn't exist. However, we are about to find out that it does exist, and it has a key or another key item inside of it.
You better start believing in the Marsh Cave, Tyrannix. You're in one.
Actually, we're in Sea Shrine and Sky right now. We'll get there in a minute.
Well, yes, but if I'd waited until then the joke wouldn't have landed.
Yeah, humor is all about timing, isn't it? xIceblue happily taking out those Manticores as well. These 1800 experience packs are serving him very well in getting that experience up. While, of course, Sforzand0 is finding the experience eyes down here on Sea Shrine, getting those good encounters for leveling up, which, you know, good on both sides right now. And Mazamuning some sharks to boot, so...
Yeah, like, it's one of those things, you know... Ice really did take a long time getting through some of these fights because of the weapons he had to use.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it is one of those things, like, even though he single-dipped it, he did lose a lot of time compared to how fast Sforzand0's cleared out this bottom half of C.
Yeah. Right? So we've got a powered-up Knight on Sforzand0's side. Will Kraken take the one shot? Is Kraken totally dead in a moment? We'll see in a moment. Gets the fast off. Stacks up the Fog 2s. 5 hits for 875 is not quite enough.
Okay, that's why I didn't remember the 6 chest room. It was just a pro ring and an opal gauntlet.
Okay, so it's terrible. So Will Cleos says, no, all that we're missing right now is there's a key out there, there's a bottle out there, and Sparkover's bridge is still out there someplace.
So at this point, Sforzand0's only missing the key and the Earth Orb.
Yep.
I still... sorry.
Could go to Marsh right now.
He's not going to make that Marsh play, unfortunately, because he could go mode Earth Cave if he made the play on Marsh first.
Alright. xIceblue got a Masamune at this point.
Ruby has been recovered.
Led to nothing.
Yeah. No, that didn't lead to anything.
Yep. xIceblue finds ribbon number 1 also. Alright, Sforzand0's gonna drop off the slab. Gonna be mildly disappointed, I believe.
Yeah. You want to field it?
No, I don't want to field that question. You take that one, please.
Alright. So, what the key is used for, there are a handful of doors in this game that are locked by the Mystic Key that you normally receive by going to Marsh Cave, getting the crown, taking the crown to the kindly old king in the Northwest Castle, who's actually the Dark Elf Astos, who's stolen the crystal from the Witch Matoya, who lives outside of Provoca. The Witch Matoya is a skilled herbalist who has the herb that can revive the Elf Prince located in Elfland. And in gratitude for reviving him from his years-long coma, the Elf Prince gives you the Mystic Key, which allows you to access the Tornarian Treasury with the TNT that you are to give to the dwarf Narek in order to gain access to the outer world beyond the inner sea where you start the game is. One of the doors that is locked is in the final dungeon. Never going to find this out in normal play. However, in Randomizer, where you can very easily not find the crown until before you get to TOFR, you can, in fact, not have the key when you go into that dungeon, and lo and behold, you're locked out of the final dungeon.
This has never happened to anybody.
And definitely not Demarine, and I definitely didn't get to commentate over it.
I still won that race. Sforzand0 does not take the gamble and decides to go into Earth, so it looks like we're gonna get one more full clear of Earth here. While everybody, xIceblue could find a robot in just a moment, so let's cheer on Mormek. Get out your Bliss RNGs, folks.
Yeah, at this point, Ice is aware that Marsh Cave is the only play left to him, so...
Sforzand0 also decides to feed the Titan because these 4 chests could have the key in them as well. We know they don't, but we're going for it. Alright, xIceblue runs across that bridge like it's no big deal. No Warmech, everybody. We're very disappointed. Also, quote, that was really impressive in terms of going through the quest chain. Chat said it, but I gotta say it too, that was awesome.
When I was born, the first thing the doctor said was that I had a healthy pair of lungs on me.
Alright. Got xIceblue fasting up and getting his buffs going, but his knight is under stun touch, so will be a moment.
xIceblue continuing to poison smoke.
Sforzand0 resetting out as he starts slooping through these chests down here, gets a first strike on his masps and runs away. Excalibur doing things, just Excalibur things, 487 damage to Tiamat. I think we're good here. I think we're good.
And is that a level 23 white mage on Ice's side?
That sure is. That is a white mage with hit points to spare.
Very convenient when the nukes roll out. Also, I forgot to say thank you for the praise.
But xIceblue's got all 4 lit. Just missing one thing at this point. Gotta remember what chests are out there. Maybe
yeah, Ice trying to remember where he hasn't gone yet.
Maybe he forgot that Marsh Cave exists.
We all do. Well, we all want to. Yeah, Ice is currently trying to think of where he hasn't been.
Ice is having a moment here. Maybe he's thinking he didn't kill the pirates like an hour ago?
It is easy to forget to talk to BK.
Yep, that's happened to a couple people in this tournament.
It can also happen a good bit in the league.
Yeah, this is very true. Fuchsia mentioning that there is no marsh cave, but there is a marsh cave. It's over there in the south, where xIceblue is about to land.
Something, something, no war inside the walls.
Nicely done. Alright, so we've got Sforzand0 with these unrunnable wolves that made the xIceblue meme before, having to burn through them, while Bones have Blaze. Wow, ouch. Bones have Blaze and Lit too. Oh, glad we didn't go here earlier.
Now, fortunately, Marsh Cave is not nearly as Ambush Cave this time, because one of the other things that gets shuffled is ambush rate. So all the ambushes may have been shuffled off onto other encounters that are hard to come by.
So everybody who's playing this game, who plays the randomizer, plays vanilla, who wants to know where every non-keylock chest is in the game, just run this VOD later.
I think outside of the keylock chest, we're going to see almost everything opened.
Until xIceblue pops the key out of a chest, we're going to see everything. There's the white shirt. Will Cleos is mentioning dig out a ribbon here too. I mean, that's a distinct possibility, but I would say that maybe the ribbons are key locked. Like you have to go into the key lock locations to find the ribbons potentially still.
Nah. One ribbon is in the Mosmune chest, the other ribbon is in that one really inconvenient chest on Carrie's floor.
Alright, slow down, Satan.
Look, my standing rule is anything you really, really want to see is in that part of Temple of Fiends you never go to.
That's fair. We're trying to go fast. We're not trying to, like, sightsee.
Real talk, by the way. I never knew about, like, most of the chests in Temple of Fiends until, like, I started playing the randomizer.
xIceblue finds more unrunnables here in Marsh. I'm sure he's very pleased about that. Sforzand0 is heading on deep into, deeper into Earth at this point. Grey Ogres have lightning too, or Green Ogres, excuse me. I always call them Grey Ogres.
I see a developer in chat. Can the key be in the validation chests in TOFR? I don't actually know.
Nope. All key items must be before Temple of Fiends were visited.
Okay.
xIceblue found the bottle, so he's gonna keep digging.
xIceblue correctly surmising that the bottle could just lead to the bridge,
which would make him very sad. So he fades those wizards for a heal potion. Yep. So dev team, of course, confirming that the key cannot be in Temple of Fiends Revisited. That's...
Now, you can get to those chests without the key. As Demrain can verify, the key is after the loot block.
Yep, I can totally verify that for all of you. Please go watch my second round match. Sforzand0's going to find the defense sword here again. We're in full clear everything mode. And xIceblue is going back up and dropping the bottle after checking every chest in March that he had access to.
And since we didn't find the key, that means the bridge is somewhere in a box.
Yeah, bridge is in a key lock box. This has to be the key. xIceblue is at 143-ish gonna get the key, and the key will put him into final official go mode at this point.
Absolutely, Meridian is here, but it is the key.
And we're good.
Chat pointing out that we can totally blame Meridian if that was not the key.
Yep.
So Ice probably going to have about a, 5-minute lead going into TOFR?
I mean, Sforzand0 still has to get through some unrunnables here in the second half of Earth and then dip Marsh, and of course if Sforzand0 is, gonna do things the quote-unquote correct way, is gonna dip the north side first as well as xIceblue did. So, maybe 7 to 8 minutes at this point. xIceblue is gonna give up a little bit of that lead. He doesn't know he has a lead, of course, but he's gonna start dipping these key lock chests, because I think he's looking for ribbon number 2 for safety's sake. He's opened most of the boxes in the game. He's got to know that a ribbon's gonna pop up here, most likely. Like, he's even likely to probably open the validation chests as well, just to be safe.
Yeah. You might even see him check the 3 chests behind the key doors here in Temple of Fiends, just to be sure.
Yeah. Lining up all its weapons, getting himself set up to go. And he's decided that a second ribbon is not a priority. Pops the Dark Orb at about 145, and here we go.
What kind of horrors does Temple of Fiends Revisited have in store for us today?
We shall find out, but first, we're going to reset out and try again. Sforzand0 is torching his way through the undead on the lower half of Marsh, so we're still marching through. We're going to pop the Dark Orb a second time. And this time, we're on our way.
Yeah, with that ninja in tow, Sforzand0 has a lot more ability to just clean out groups in a hurry.
Or disengage combat, so both of which are very useful.
And Badman with an ambush.
That crit rate, folks, can be real dangerous to your squishy casters. Sforzand0 decides the black shirt is not a priority at this point in time, doesn't need the casting item, and just decides to keep on moving. Phantom blisters the team with Frost at this point. Wow, unrunnable Phantom. That's weird.
It happens occasionally.
Yeah, he's gambling on there being a ribbon in here.
And all he gets is 108 gold.
And a stick, which he leaves behind. Oh, Wizard Ogres have Toxic. Nobody dies to it, though, which is good. But, man oh man, the fun stuff is just out there today.
Yeah. Basically, don't trust ogres, kids. This seed is the anti-Shrek.
Wizard's unrunnable. Cure Potions on tap for xIceblue. As he moves through the key door successfully, unlike some runners, and moves on to the second half of Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, aka the part where all the fun stuff comes out to play.
Yep, Frost Dragons have lit behind the Rub spell, but Rub doesn't hit anybody.
Yeah, we're at the point where the party's magic defense just does not care what Rub does.
This is very true. Pro rings are helping the cause, too.
Also true.
A 7-pack of Green Medusa and xIceblue is like, yep, I'm here for this. This is my jam.
Yeah, that XP is not gonna hurt on the way down.
Nope. Getting your knight to level 24 for the 5th Mazamian swing doesn't hurt it either. Speaking of which, there it is, 24 on the knight.
And we should be getting to Lich 2 here in a minute.
Yep, Sforzand0 rolls up on the orb on Lich 1, while xIceblue is gonna roll up on Lich 2 after running away from these, Green Medusas. He knows he doesn't need any more experience. He's feeling good. We're gonna get the cross time high five here, 2,000 years apart, but they're both murdering an undead warlord here.
Ice not even bothering to buff for Lich 2. Because...
Nope. respects
No one
Lich.
respects Lich 2.
You got a Mass Immune, 5 hits. You don't respect Lich 2, not even a little bit.
And a very friendly fire floor for XIceblue.
Yep,
Sforzand0 making the play to bottom of Marsh.
Alright, gonna save a little bit of time here, but, you know, he's gonna need XIceblue to help him out here. He's gonna need Kraken 2 to be a buddy and, you know, nuke some squishies from orbit. Using his ninja's run skill to help him get out of combat. Let's see what Carry 2 has got working. He's gonna do a little bit of buffing here, gonna put up the defense sword, gonna put up a fast. Not sure what he wants to do with the white mage here. Decides to wait. Damage poison starts us off. Red mage is hurting for certain from that. And Sforzand0 finds the bottle.
And is going to keep checking just because, you know, after that slab, you just got to be careful.
Yep. The Fasted Knight, though, 10 hits for 590, cuts down the Serpent, and gonna move on to Water Floor here, after patching up his Red Mage a little bit. Alright, Water Floor first starts out with the Shark and Wizard Sahag encounter. Sforzand0 having to cut through some more wizards, but with 2 really strong swords, that doesn't look like much of a troublesome thing anymore. XIceblue is going to run from the mixed seafood platter here, but those lobsters are going to take a couple of cuts first. No stun touches though, so gets out of that no problem at all. Alright, this time stun touch works on the knight. Sforzand0 exits out, but goes to north side.
Fortunately, the other 2 party members are decent at running.
Yeah, you have enough levels, you're going to be fine at running once it comes down to it.
And at this point, Ice is just tired of dealing with these lobsters.
Yeah, I don't blame him, so he's deciding to, you know, turn them into some bisque real quick, but doesn't get one of the sea trolls and has to escape the encounter. Alright, I'm gonna heal up. Gonna pull Kraken 2 here, so everybody, here it is. The first fight that's a real bear for a lot of the runners. I'm gonna go with full defensive buffs to start, it looks like. 2 Fog 2s and a defense sword use. Does not...
Ice... Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Ice opting to protect his life casters.
Yeah, does not want the octopus to take down the healers here. Because Kraken, of course, immediately goes for the white mage, but the white mage stands up because of the Fog 2 charge that was burnt off, so... Man, oh man. Alright, Knight's good and buff now. Gonna catch a temper charge on top of the fast. We got a fade coming out. XIceblue's not messing around now. He wants the Octo down. 8 for 815. Rub is, of course, a blank, basically, at this point. One more swing and we should be good. Use the Bane Sword. Make the meme happen.
XIceblue is beyond memes at this point.
He is just rolling out those 800-point crits, folks. Kraken 2 does not stand a chance against that. And we are on to the air floor.
And as Ice is making his way toward Tiamat 2, to answer the question, chat, Sforzand0 brought a thief along because thieves do have their uses.
Yeah, people like running away in these flags because it helps your early game. If they get good spells, they become a great Black Mage spell support with like Fast and Temper potentially. Or Nuke. I mean, Ninja with Nuke never goes awry, really. So there's a lot of good options that you get from it, but you're a little spell dependent, you're a little promotion dependent, it can be a little problematic. Alright, Sforzand0's got his key, hour 53 in, and he is on his way to the temple in go mode. XIceblue has pulled Tiamat, who leads off with Bane, smokes out the red mage to start. Not having that ribbon is a little bit dangerous, so we're down a white mage, we're down a life caster here.
Yeah, red mage did at least manage to get the fast off on the knight, so that's gonna help.
That's all you ask for. Right, buffing up the Knight, getting ready to swing. Here we go. Last Fade charge, Sword out, 5 for 238. Decent absorb on Tiamat, even with the buffs up, though. Should be able to work his way through that hit point total pretty quickly. Sforzand0 just digging for ribbon number 2 here. Finds it in Corneria with the Excalibur. xIceblue drops a 10-16 crit, though. We're going to get that mage back up. We are going to see Tiamat go down. We are getting ready to go and find that chaos fight start. Sforzand0, of course, has all the tools he'll need to win, but he needs xIceblue to get murdered by chaos first. Let's see how this goes. Crowd is feeling it for xIceblue. Defense up. We're going with the defensive buffs to start. Nope, we're gonna start with fast. We're gonna start with fast and fog too. So we got a little bit of defense. We got the defense sword usage. We're gonna start getting our buffs in place before chaos can start blowing people up. Fire 3 is our lead out. Red mage protected. White mage not so much, takes the hit for half her health. We've got Temper coming out. We've got Fog 2 coming out. We've got Poison Touch on that Knight. Another buff for the Power Sword. We've got Fog 2 coming out. Knight is ready to rock and roll. It looks like here we go. Another Temper charge. One more Fog 2 charge. Nope, gonna cast Heal 3. Inferno comes out, burns the Red Mage and the White Mage away. Oh boy, no healers, but that's an 850 crit. The Knight is ready to slash away. Another hit for 7. Blaze does nothing to the Knight. 47 damage. Another 10 hit swing. God, Fast is so good. Fast on the Mazimmune, and Chaos is toast. 3 solid swings.
And that is going to be a 1 hour, 54 minute, and 53 second finish for xIceblue. And unfortunately, Sforzand0 is going to go ahead and forfeit.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough break. I think that just not taking that shot at Kraken there cost Sforzand0 a lot of time. Ends up costing them the run, it looks like, because that was probably the 7 or 8 minute differential that we were looking at, because that was a fairly close race throughout, Wout.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but GG to both of our runners. Nice deep run, but really interested watching xIceblue here. 166 chests, 11,337 steps, 90 resets and power-offs. We saw a lot of this game, and that doesn't include the chests that xIceblue ended up resetting out of as well.
Yeah, I am trying to see if either of our runners want to come in and have a little bit of a conversation. It looks like both of them are going to be joining us here in a moment. So, make sure to get all of your GGs out in chat. Both of them put on a very entertaining performance for an offense poor seed.
Yeah, it looks like Sforzand0 and xIceblue are both in the waiting room right now. So I guess they'll be hopping in just a second.
Yeah. So this has been a very exciting day.
Yeah, these flags are definitely interesting to watch. A lot of decisions matter here.
Gentlemen, GG.
Thank you. That was I felt behind the entire race because I went to Sea Shrine after Volcano and it was like it did not pay off at all.
That's okay. I went to Sea Shrine before Volcano.
Oh.
I was desperately looking for the chime so I could do Sky, because then I knew I'd get levels, and with like Fire 3 I could clear a lot of stuff, but unfortunately it took me forever to get the chime.
I felt for you watching you have to clear C with the light axe.
I'm so mad, at the fact that, I should have routed Volcano before checking Ice Cave, because I could have gotten, a small, eye grind in, but all I had was a silver dagger, and I was like, this is not gonna work.
Yeah, I was able to get a small eye grind in. I think I got to, 14 or something like that, because I was just I need charges of something, and then I think, I don't even know. I don't even know about that game.
Yeah. It started off so nice, and then Cyclone hit.
So I just one other question before we before I release the floor to Demarine. How did you feel about your black mage that the chat dubbed Rasputin?
I was keeping him alive because of the early fire 2 until I can find something worth murdering him over, and I ended up finding fire 3 and fade and Melmond and Elfland. So it was just a matter of me danning him as soon as possible.
Yeah, I was actually a little surprised that you didn't change your plan and drop the white mage instead. Why was that the call?
Life 2. I saw Life 2 early, and I didn't know when Tail was coming up. And when I saw Tail come up at the Sages, I was like, you know what? I feel like this. Well, I was like, this is a Cyclone seed. I'm gonna feel like this is gonna be the best decision. So I kept the white mage up, and then sure enough, we found Fade. And then Life 2 was learnable on both my red mage and my white mage.
So, I guess jumping over to Sforzand0, the early play on Northwest Castle that
Oh, did you like that?
Not to make. Because
The
your
one where
opponent did.
The one where I repeatedly meleeed Astos for like 3 damage, praying for a crit.
Yeah. What ended up happening, though, was that xIceblue took both of Fire 2 casters and ended up burning down Astos. It was a pretty big risk, but it ended up paying off pretty well. So ended up getting that bit of an early lead on you.
That high absorb Tiamat scared me when he was like, hey, look, I got a Bane. And I was like, oh, Jesus. I did, oh, no, you said you had just entered Temple of Fiends. So I never saw a nuke on any of the Fiends, which I was very thankful for.
Yeah, we didn't see any of the really nasty stuff, and we even had a Warmech fight happen.
Yeah.
I think that Bridge of Destiny was my lowest encounter rate in the entire game, like in the entire seed.
Yeah, it really was.
Yep.
I mean, Sforzand0 did have a run-up against the robot and did dismantle Warmech for sure. So Sforzand0 down 1 right now. What changes do you make for Game 2 right now? What preparations are you going to make to try and pull this one back?
I think it all comes down to class selection. I really think that's probably where the game was won, truth be told. Where I took a thief, he took a black mage. I was hoping for run rate with a greater amount of chest checking, and I thought I might have had a little bit of an advantage in that regard, especially the longer the seed went out, and then picking up the chest later. But as you talked about him burning down Astos so early and me struggling with that fight, I honestly think at that point it was probably won at class selection.
Yeah, I mean, it also did help that, like, he went after Astos first. Like, basically, he followed the kind of chain of exchanges around the southern continent.
The way that seed played out made my routing feel so bad. Like, I saved it at Onrak just so I can go run and turn in the adamant that I found in the Sea Shrine. And I should have just reset since I had to go back down there with the slab, but I chose to keep it anyway and just went all the way. I don't know. It was just, I don't know, bad routing on my part. I felt behind the entire time, and you can ask anybody in my chat that was listening to me talk. I just kept saying that I felt behind the entire time.
That seems to be a really common refrain in these flags, honestly, so far. With runners having to, like, just zip all over the world, it's really easy to feel like 1 or 2 wipes in, like, say, that terrible Ordeals with, Toxic being blown in your face. It can make you feel like that you've just lost too much time, and so that seems to be a real big theme for everybody here.
Yeah, I really felt like every single dive, every dungeon I went into, I took like an extra 2 or 3 minutes at least for one reason or another. Then, what was it? I think I wiped an ice, and I had like back-to-back unrunnable wizard fights with just Fire 2 and Fire 3 to deal with them.
Did you ever see the skill or the spell that wizards had?
You talking about wall or after wall?
After wall.
No, I never saw after wall, thankfully.
They had a very low chance of using spells, but after wall, I think it was Bane.
I believe that was it.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah. I don't think there was a single dungeon in this run that didn't have an enemy that was casting something instant death.
Oh man, I'm just glad that one's over with, and hopefully the next one's not as bad.
I mean, if nothing else, Ordeals can't be worse in the next one.
Yeah. I mean, there was that one seed that Edge and I raced where Mancats had lit 3 and they were all over the encounter table.
Okay, point.
Sorry, Edge.
But yeah, no, that was a very entertaining run. Like, both of y'all, I believe, Demery, you pointed out, this was a very good seed if someone wants to know where every non-key lock chest in the game is located.
Oh, Sforzand0 and I both, like, we talked about it, like, in the SRL chat. So we both made the play, apparently, to get a little greedy with the key. And he ended up checking Canaria Castle, and I ended up checking Dwarf Cave, and his paid off, and mine didn't.
Yep.
He told me that. I was like, dude, I was actually considering going to Canaria over Dwarf, but I was like, no, let's go to Dwarf. There's 8 chests.
And that's how it goes sometimes.
Was there anything in Dwarf?
No. There was an iron gauntlet, a silver gauntlet, a copper gauntlet.
Nice.
And some money. Yeah, it was loaded with level 4 armor.
Yeah, not a ton of stuff there for sure.
That early Aegis shield really helped with the tail.
Yeah, I believe that y'all have your game 2 scheduled for Thursday at 4 p.m.
Yes.
And then if you need game 3, you need that Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So really, I think the key here for your game 2 is don't let Cyclone or Zara roll your seed. Just don't.
Nobody else is in the channel.
Okay. Okay. Here's what you're going to do. On Thursday, when you're ready to run that race, you're going to post in the Spring Tournament channel, will someone please come in and roll our seed?
Actually, wait,
will come and spare you?
Who's commentating the next seed? Do we know?
No one's signed up for your game 2 yet.
Okay.
But I will make sure when I post looking for those folks, I will make sure that it is made clear that someone needs to be there to roll the seed to spare both of you.
I was gonna actually request a demi seed.
Really? I mean, I've only rolled 2 in this tournament, and they've both gone really fast.
I think that's the point.
Oh boy. Never mind.
Actually, I'm out here to experience seeds rolled by everybody, and I've experienced the Tsar seed. I've experienced an Edge seed, and pretty sure I've gathered some unnameable diseases from all those seeds.
Broadster in chat also volunteering his services as a seed roller.
Wait, who?
Brat, you're still alive in the tournament. You can't roll seeds right now.
A Broadster seed. Oh man. I feel like the only spell I'd have in like the first 5 shops would be like Brack or Quake.
Yeah. That white magic level 1 shot made me die a little bit inside, by the way.
Oh yeah, I was. Ugh.
Yeah, Debbie was biting her tongue, swallowing her tongue as she admitted that she would Dan her white mage after seeing that level 1 white.
I humbly considered it. I was like, ugh. I was like, but all the bad spells are out of the way, so maybe the rest are good.
Yeah, when I swung around to 3, I was like, 2 has to be good, right?
No, it doesn't. That's not how this works.
Well, it ended up being ridiculously good. The Fog 2 strats were really strong this race.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably saved you on that Kraken 1 fight.
15 hits, 40 damage on my White Mage.
I was very impressed by that fact. I also saw you using the Fog 2 against those unrunnable wizards because you just didn't need them meleeing you for like 2 for 100, so...
Yeah, I was scared.
Yeah.
We probably need to start wrapping this up, just to, clear this out of the way. Also, I am very tired, so...
Yeah, these seats are marathons sometimes, but the two of you put on a fantastic show today. So of course, thank you for racing. Give these two fine gentlemen a follow. They're great. They are great runners. They are great members of the community. They're great to talk to. All in all, please shoot these runners a follow. Ali Grabrap, our tracker, definitely the best tracker I've worked with in this tournament for sure. Of course, Boat, you're fantastic as well. Everybody, please make sure that you come out tomorrow, Randomania, 6 p.m. We've got the first match in the Red Dragon bracket. We've got Edgeworth taking on Fuchsia Fantasy. Two of the biggest names in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community are going to be dueling it out. Then 8 p.m. tomorrow night, stop by. We've got Tyrannex and Wilkliosis on the microphone to call High Spirits, the big runner of Dragon Warrior, but also a great runner of Final Fantasy 1. Taken on one of the co-champs of the season one league, which was Minochi 85. That one should be an amazing race as well. I don't think there's any races at this point in the top 16 that are not amazing. Every runner here really deserves it and has played real hard to get this far.
And if Demarine had let me get a word in edgewise about 2 minutes ago, you should follow her as well. She's pretty awesome.
I do have a request from somebody in my chat, Remiel. Remiel wants to roll the seed for Thursday at 4.
Well, Remiel, just be sure to be in IRC at that time, and I'm sure that you'll be allowed to do it.
He said he wants his vengeance.
This is fair. All right. Well, thanks to all of y'all for coming out for us. We hope to see y'all around in the next matchup. And if you're not already following our partners here at Speed Gaming and all of their myriad channels, by all means, be sure to fix that as soon as you can, because they're awesome hosts, and, we're glad to have them on board with us. So I believe that's going to do it here for us. So take care, y'all. Until next time.